Hello, everyone. This is Louis Bright Raven. I am just a little bit tied up in the moment. I had to go get my laundry put away, or actually not put away, put in the dryer. It kind of last second there screwed up my timing. Haven't got readjusted for where I'm sitting for the camera yet. Just give me a moment. There we go. Hopefully. Got everything got all screwed up here. Where we go here? Yeah. Weird. Okay. Now I know why it's not on. I was looking for a link on my YouTube page that wasn't there. As soon as I get this linked up, folks. Alrighty. I think that'll do. Alrighty. And there is John. And Wild Food will be here when he gets back, whenever he gets home from wherever he's driving from, probably work. So let me go ahead and let you guys know what's going on tonight. This is a Blue Line scan printout of a sketch by the legendary artist Gene Colan of Dracula, Tomb of Dracula fame from Marvel. Gene, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but as far as I think he passed away anyway. I could be mistaken. But anyway, I'll basically be doing practice inks tonight, and we'll see how it goes. I will be working with brush pens and technical pens. This is a Pentel brush pen. I don't know how good it is right now. Looks like it's pretty dry. I don't want the dry one. I'm very annoyed if both of them are dried. That's better. Okay. Now, Gene's pencils are a little bit hard to interpret sometimes. He's very, this pen's not doing what I want to do, of course. Let me cap it off real quick here. Let me set it down for just a second. As I was saying, Gene's pencils are a little bit difficult to interpret as an inker because he does very soft pencil work that doesn't translate well to inks necessarily. You have to really be subjective and interpretive of his pencils. There's a lot of heavy blacks as well. I thought, yes, it's a little later. Maybe I should have done this last month, but I figured it's close enough to Halloween and kind of gives people an interesting perspective on the inking process. Hope you've all had a good week so far. I've had a few people talk to me privately about my Raven rant from Thursday night show. Some of them thought it was reasonably well thought out. Anyway. I don't know yet if I'm going to stick with doing those or not. I also picked this because it's more of a classic. And, some of the guys I've had on, maybe not live on camera, but who have been coming in, some of those underrated artists like Loston and Chris. I thought if they decided to watch more of my episodes, they'd appreciate this too. Because this is more of the old school style stuff. And speaking of, yeah, I thought you might appreciate that, Lawson. I'm just hoping the brush pen will last. Trying to interpret Gene's grays, as you say. The brush is wanting to split, and I don't know why. I'll twist it here. Darn it. I gotta be careful here. Hmm. I flipped around again. Whoop. I'm trying not overpower his line here. Oh. Got a little. Yeah. getting annoyed with this brush pen. It doesn't want to hold the line I want for some reason. I don't know why. It's doing fine on the test paper, but not on the actual board. I don't know why. It's the same paper. Well, I'll tell you, Boston, I'm probably going to see an eye doctor here before too long, get new prescriptions. So I know where you're coming from. I just can't. Like if I try to wear my glasses while I'm working on this up close, it's all a blur. But if I look up at the camera, or not the camera, but the computer screen, it's like a blur. So it's real fun right now for me. What's going on here? Come here. I don't want to screw this up because he's got such a nice, clean line there. Yeah, maybe a little bit heavier than we should have, but it works. You have to go in and clean that up with a different brush. That's one thing I am annoyed with this pen tonight. It's wanting to do things too heavy, and I don't have my other brush to do a full normal with dip brush. You guys are hearing the Where did that thing go? Okay. Like I said, see, it's doing a nice job of getting a nice lines otherwise. I don't know. That's weird. Oh, well. I may have to come back and do this. That's one of the benefits of doing it on a blue line. Get the right pens. But yeah, like I said, this is practice. This isn't anything for work. It's just something to have fun with. If I'm not happy with it, just do it again. Who was my favorite Colan inker? Ooh, darn. Hmm. I mean, the immediate choice would probably be Tom Palmer, I guess, but I'm trying to think of who inked Gene on Daredevil back in the 60s. Frank. Was Frank the one who inked him on Daredevil back in the 60s? I can't remember. That sounds about right. I guess a lot of people didn't really know what to do with him back then. um, I'm not that familiar with Frank. I mean, I know the name Frank Giacchia, but I don't really remember his work that well, unfortunately. There's a lot of guys that were popular in the 60s and early 70s whose work I'm not that knowledgeable about, to be honest. Cartaglione, Atkins. Okay. Okay, yeah. Giacola is Giacoya rather. I was thinking of him for Daredevil because that's Daredevil 20, and I was thinking between Daredevil 20 and 26 thereabouts is what I was thinking about. So let me see if I can share that real quick again with everybody. Yeah, what happened to it? Just had it. What's this sort of thing doing? Let me see if I can figure it out real quick. There. That's what he's talking about with Gene Colan with Frank Giacoya inks. But as always, it is a very different interpretation. It's interpretive to inking Gene. And Gene's pencils on Daredevil were completely different from his pencils on Tomb of Dracula. That's for sure. While certainly his Daredevil had some atmospheric qualities to it, the Dracula was really atmospheric in his style. Like I said, I'm not completely happy with it. I've never actually inked him before, though, either, so I'm learning as I go. You kind of have to find a balance between his shadows. What you're going to fill in. Yep. You inked JR Jr. pages too. The old JR Jr. or like what era of him? Because I mean, there's a big difference between Romita Jr. As he progresses through his career as well. I'm trying to see the shadows. The light's not quite getting the right shadow effect I want. This is supposed to be my smallest pen too. I don't like this pen. It's bleeding too much. Oh well. It's the way it is. Not want to do it. That's annoying. All right. If you don't want to do that, I will do something else. I gotta get tricky. Be right back. Interesting. Okay. Get different tools. Get a new brush pen. Try again. Hopefully, with the new one, I won't have the same problems. Yeah, that's better. Much better. Like that a lot. Okay. It's a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. That's better. His excellent stuff. Okay. Mary Jane got a shit like oh, okay. Um, yeah, both artists, both Gene and John Romita Jr. Uh, definitely, the energy is there. Definitely. No, I was just wondering because I mean, his X-Men stuff was inked by Dan Green, of course, most of the time. I think he might have had a couple of other inkers after Dan when he came back the second tour of duty. But I was thinking his pencils when he did breakdowns for Iron Man with Layton's finishes. Mm-hmm. I wondered if you'd seen any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Because that's a completely different look. Yeah, I remember the Buffy story. I don't remember the Daredevil. But I do remember him getting to do Buffy. That was an interesting, unexpected thing for him, given. What was going on? It's a little bit rough here. I'm probably going to be doing this later. Might do it at a larger scale too. Get it printed out 11 by 17 instead of 8.5 by 11. Less eye strain that way. But, again, just practicing, so it's not the end of the world either way. I'm trying to give it a dry brush look. To kind of give you that ghost misty feel that he sometimes has. Okay, 2007. Yeah, I wasn't reading Marvel by then. I quit reading Marvel around 2003. That's why I missed it. Because I probably wasn't even paying attention. Which, my bad, I guess. Probably should have been paying attention a little bit. I mean, that is Gene after all, but let me see here. Just going to go ahead and fill that in. It didn't look quite right. It looks better solid black. There's a few. I forget, where are you living, Austin? Ohio, are you? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just, I had changed to a new brush pen instead because I wasn't getting the look with the older brush pens, and I should have gone back to the older to get the dry brush look. That's all. to get it more accurate, but that's okay. Again, this is just practice, and you know, this is the first time I've ever even tried colon. I'm faking it as I go in a way. Yeah. You know, it's not gonna be my best stuff by any means. Oh, you live in North Carolina? You gotta be kidding me. You live in Durham? Okay. How come I never saw you come up to any of the um, weekend shows that Rick Fortenberry runs in, oh, shoot, in Charlotte? Oh, I love this. I read superhero comics for the escapism, for the fantasy. I don't need reality. In reality, billionaire Bruce Wayne falls to his death swinging from building to building dressed like a fool. That's funny. Okay, well, that was from a different show because I don't even remember Aaron ever being any of the shows I've been to of Rick's, but But then I tended to do a lot more of the 1-day shows with Rick rather than the 2 and 3 day shows. And you probably did the 2 and 3 day shows, so that's probably part of it. Because I couldn't do the multiple day shows. I got parents that are disabled, and oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, you know. Mm-hmm. From about 2007 to about 2018, either December 2018 or March or May of 2019 was my last show that I did of Rick's. I haven't ever been to Heroes Con. For whatever reason, I'm not a big enough name or whatever. I've tried several times. They wouldn't let me go. So, yeah, COVID-19 said, "Don't be ridiculous." Yeah, I understand that one totally. No, like I was saying, I used to do Rick's 1-day shows. Rick and Dave Henson. From like 07 to about 2019, I was doing their shows. But I can't do more than like a 1-day show hardly anymore because I've had disabled parents to take care of, and I can't have them really at these places too easily. So it's not been fun. It's a little bit easier now that my mom's passed on. My dad will try. Emphasis on try, but it's not always the easiest. And people love to bug him because they think he looks like Stan Lee for some stupid reason. They think he's cosplaying Stan Lee in a cowboy outfit. They want to take photos with him. He's like, leave me alone. Yeah, John was saying there was times. Because John actually took me to a couple of shows as a transportation because I couldn't. It's not that I don't have a vehicle I can go by myself, but it's more of a situation that. Well, actually, no, I take that back. When John took me, we only had the one van. That's right. So I couldn't leave them alone for a day in case something happened to one of them. They needed it for emergency purposes to get to a hospital or whatever. And didn't want to wait for an ambulance. So I'll take that back. But now my dad's like, well, I want to go just because I don't want to be left alone. I'll take it. It's like, what, the cat doesn't keep you enough company? I probably wondered that, but we'll see in a moment. Yep, just wooden box. That's the one thing I can say. You can, when in doubt, block it out and still get the interpretation. This means no. Actually, he's very quiet and minds his own business. He just sits there and does his crossword puzzles in his while he sits there in his wheelchair next to my table, or he flees the area and goes outside to hopefully be left alone. But usually when he's on the floor, he's just minding his own business. No, you can't get in my lap, kitty. He's down there by down there. Well, that's just it. You're used to it. Um, you're used to being working from home alone and stuff, and you're not a social person necessarily in that respect. You don't do that for your whole life, and then all of a sudden you're doing that, and they don't really know how to handle that. Go ahead and miss this. Where's that other one? Yeah, that one's too wiped out, but I can go ahead and put a this will definitely give it a nice misty look. Yeah, that's it. Being handled with the kids. As you can see, I did a little bit more dry brush there on the outer edge of the shading there. I will go back in and then do wasn't quite how I wanted to do it, but it'll suffice. While I do this. You see, I'm not quite getting the dry brush effect I wanted with the mist, but it's all right. For what I consider a doodle sketch inking practice, it's not bad. I will come back and revisit this at a later time. If you're wondering, yes, I'm saving his face for last. I'm too heavy on that line. It's too heavy. Darn it. Oh well. It's gonna flatten his hair out. I don't like that. Let's see if I can. Be right back. Oh, that's why. Okay. That got screwed up. Really bad, actually. Trying too hard to get that shape of his face because he's in the pencils. It's all shadow. Wish I could go back in there and fix that. Okay, you're close to that. Right. Cool. Yeah, well, I that's something I'm going to actually be talking about is commissions in a little bit here. This is just, like I said, just something to get in there. But yeah, it's commission time, folks. And if you're not buying from me or Austin or someone else, you need to go tell someone else to buy from us. Mark, you still around? Because if you are, I want to know what the deal is with Gladstone stuff. If you know, or do I need to go bug her around? It's okay. Wish I hadn't done that, but he had a line there. I should have just ignored it. Oh well. Like I said, I'll probably come back and revisit this at a later time. I'm gonna try and do something here. I'm gonna use some PH Martin's bleed proof white. Go back in here and cover up the part of the face I didn't like. It's a little bit. I'll probably come back in and dry it, let it dry. Since I screwed up so massively, I figured this is a good way to show people how one works over that stuff and corrections. You just gotta do it where I want. Now I have to wait for it to dry properly, so it'll be a while. But I will come back to it tonight before the show's over. Okay, while we're waiting for that to dry, so I can come back in and finish that up if I can. I'm going to see what we can do here about sharing stuff with you guys. It's a little ad in between, I guess you could say. There's the t-shirts are not ready yet. I'm still debating with the manufacturer on the quality of the shirt and stuff. So I'm getting a little bit annoyed, but it's getting too close to the deadline here. But the Wingman art book, Prince original art, you can commission me also. The Wingman art book, Art of Lewis Bright Raven, Volume 1 from 2011, is $10 US, plus shipping and handling, and $20 US. I had it 15, but I'm making it 20. Plus shipping and handling for a personalized sketch inside, 48 pages of historical text and artwork spanning the first 20 years of my career. For those who don't remember what I meant by the interior illustrations, it's just a little quick sketch inside corner of the first page, on the title page. Any character you want, information. The only thing I ask is no excessive gore, violence, or nudity. So, don't be asking for hentai or something like that, please. Pelican doesn't. The PH Martin's bleed proof isn't too bad, especially now that I let it thicken up quite a bit. The sketchbook is interesting. I mean, I don't know have you looked? Have you watched it when I've been showing it off there in Boston? I mean, it's it's a lot of it is text. Like I said, historical text of my career a little bit. Then it shows my early stuff that I was doing like in the mid '80s. When I was doing a little comic strip from my high school newspaper. Quick pencil sketch from '92. This is one of my first pro ink pieces for Ghost Rider. The penciler on this is actually Chris Burns. I don't know if you know Chris. He's a stunt coordinator and a costume designer for Black Lightning. He helped design the stuff for Black Lightning. He's done stuff for Walking Dead, other things like that. So we went to college together, and that was one of his stuff. Yeah, it's kind of a retrospective look. Donald Duck I don't have a problem with, but I mean it's more like the people who want me to draw weird stuff. No Kitty Pryde and Lockheed in the bubble bath type stuff. Yeah, it's kind of it's a mini retrospective. Yes. Okay, you have heard of Chris. Okay, but yeah. So my work for TSR. That one didn't make it. This one did for a pro piece. That was a piece I did for Tolkien Enterprises in 2011. And then it has a little bit of my process of inking early stuff. That was like one of my earliest official credits. And when I say official credits, I worked a lot on uncredited as an assistant to other inkers in the 90s, but that was more due to editorial nonsense. My practice inks over Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Inks over Gene Ha. Let's see if I can get the right angle so you guys can see the pencils to the inks. My inks over Paul Robert Smith, no relation to Paul Smith of X-Men fame. Unfortunately, Paul was a kind of a Travis Charest type artist, but I don't know what happened. Well, I kind of do. Image said he wasn't ready, and he went working for another company for a while in San Diego that kind of used him up and didn't pay him, and he gave up on comics basically, which was a shame because he had a lot of talent. My inks over John Dennis, I think we've mentioned that. Did a shaved cat count? Well, I mean, we gotta. If someone asks me to draw, what's his name, the cat from Saga, that's a shaved cat, right? So I guess I'd have to do that. But anyway, but yeah. Thanks. I appreciate the Octane stuff. That was some of my earliest test work, actually, was on Octane. I did that for my special studies portfolio. That was, I think I mentioned this before. I started a sequential art studies program at my college, Central Michigan University, with the help of the Kubert School back in the early 90s. And that was like one of my pieces for that. And this is actually something that John here, John Norris actually owns. The late Jeremy Dale, unfortunately, he passed away from complications due to the flu a few years back. He did this quick pencil sketch of Venom, and I inked it and added all the logo design and the webbing background and stuff like that. And then there's stuff from my books that are hopefully going to come out someday before I die. A character, Tina Blake from Blake and Terror. And their ship, the Cosmic Chameleon, her jet bike, so to speak. One of the thugs that's going to be after them. And that's the first page of the Blake and Terror stuff, so you can see how I get very Perezian in my work style. I don't know if you can get close enough to that or not, but it's blurring too much. The camera doesn't like it. But anyway, that is our art book. $10 or $20 with the sketch. Yeah, Jeremy was a pretty cool dude. I think he was annoyed with me a little bit because when I met him, I met him in 2007, and I had just lost my home and moved out east, and I was in a very dark place, and I think he thought I had a bad attitude about life at the time, and maybe I did, but it just kind of we never really gelled because of that, and that's not his fault. It's just yeah. Cool. Yeah, I liked his work on the G.I. Joe stuff. I liked his Skyward book as well. So anyway, we have the art book here. We also have these prints. I have a lot of prints for sale, actually. Most of them are $5. Some of them will be a little bit more, but these particular set of 6, it's $5 each, or all 5 for $15, plus shipping and handling. The first 2, Darth Vader and Star Wars, are digital colored by Hector Rubelar. The other 4 are all hand colored pieces by me. Different techniques, different styles. Oh, you're welcome. And there's dinosaur prints. The T-Rex is all just pencils, and the other dinosaur was actually The light green is colored pencils, and the dark green, believe it or not, is a Sharpie pen. I got all that out of a Sharpie. So it looks pretty interesting though when you see the print. And then these are some straight up pencils from Star Trek. Jeremy was a very what's the word I'm trying to find? Congenial individual. He certainly paid attention to people who came to his table, and he tried to make sure you had a good experience. So, that's always fun. But wow, yeah. Like I said, unfortunately, I think just because we got off on the wrong foot because of whatever, like I said, when I moved here to South Carolina, I was not in my best frame of mind. So, unfortunate. I didn't get to know him as well as some other people, but I always thought he was a really cool dude, and wish, obviously we miss him, and wish it hadn't happened the way it did. That was really a sad thing. And then we have some more sketches. We got a Michonne print here. That's $10. Shipping and handling. That is pencil toned with I tried to do some blood. It was very weird how I got the blood splatter on there, but I managed. I will never try it again. It was very fortunate. I was able to get that on there without screwing up all the pencils. But and then the zombie sketch is $5 in shipping and handling. And then for all this stuff, you can email me at quoththeraven, lbr72@gmail.com. Subject, name of print or prince or wingman for the art book. Oh, geez. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not. If somebody has something bad to say about Jeremy, they're probably lying. I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, it's just the way it is, you know. Tales of the Crypt double-page zombie commission. I don't think so. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I know I've seen zombie artwork from you before. In fact, I was thinking about pulling some of your pencils out and testing you. I just hadn't figured out which stuff I liked best. I think I have a, what is it? Let me check real quick. Might be in that one. Let's see if I can find it. No, it's not there. I think it's I know I have something at yours. It's pencils scanned. It's not the Hulk. It's the DC guy. The dead DC guy. Okay, yeah, I recognize it now. Yeah, Solomon Grundy. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. I think I've got a scan of your pencils of Solomon Grundy with a huge tree branch in his left hand. I think coming out of the swamp water. I think that's yours. Somewhere in my files. I got so much stuff to potentially ink. It's not funny. Do you want me to share that Tales of the Crypt, Peach, that you're talking about? Okay. Let's go ahead and share that if we can. Whoops, it's not sharing the right one. There we go. That's the page he's talking about. And it's very nice. And we'll take a look at some of the close-up work as well. Love the tree way you got the details of the bark, and shadows and light on it. I'm gonna make sure I'm not showing something I shouldn't be showing. There we go. because he shared something else with me that he doesn't want other people to see. But overall, very nice work there, Boston. Okay, let's continue with my sales stuff here. Get finished through on this stuff here. I have a Chinese dragon print for $5. That was done with all markers. And the Thor print was mostly is actually done with colored pencil illustration there. I decided to make the armor, thicken the armor out with inks over the colored pencils, but the original drawing is all colored pencil. And that's a $5 print as well. And then commissions for 2020. Starting today, November 6th to December 10th, I will be accepting a limited number of 8.5 by 11, 11 by 14 sketch cover and sketch card commissions. I have 9 commission slots left of the 8.5 by 11, charging $30 black and white, $40 for color, with a 1 character limit. For 2 more characters, you can inquire, but I can't promise that they'll be completed in time for the holiday. I'm trying to, I know what my table is, stuff like that. Yeah. Do I use Copics, Prisma? I use both. I use Copics, I use Prisma, I use everything I can get my hands on. A tool is a tool is a tool to me. It's I've got Artist Loft markers, I've got Prismacolor markers, I've got Copic markers, I've got Sharpie markers, I've got Prismacolor pencils, Rose Art pencils, all kinds of stuff. Cool. But anyway, the head bust shot. Let me get a quick example of what that would be like. Something like that would be the $30 for black and white, $40 for color. Another example. And those are 2 zombies that I have done recently. Let's see. The full figure is maximum of 2 characters and a background. Is $50 for black and white, $75 for color. That's for an 8.5 by 11. 11 by 14, I have 10 commission slots left. Black and white is $50 or $65 for 1 character. If you want a full figure, it's $100 for black and white, $125 for color, with a maximum of 2 characters in the background. And this is an example of what a 11 by 17 $100 piece would look like normally. This is a Vampirella, of course. And this is about as risque as I'm going to get for women. She's covered. That's all that matters. Let's see. I'm trying to find my other page that has the ROM for the color, but I don't know where it's at. So I try to be very reasonable on my prices. I mean, it's, in a way, it's like undercharging a lot of it for the amount of time I put into it. But, I also look at it as people aren't working as the same hours and for the same amount of money right now because of COVID as well. So we got to be reasonable too. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I just saw your Cat Matui, Green Lantern one that you did with Prismacolor and Copics, and damn, I got to share that. Just a second. Let me go ahead and finish up with this, and then I'll share yours real quick. But the commissions for 2020, the sketch covers. This one, the Superman is sold, but it's a front cover only. It would be a $40 for the front, in color like that. This Thor for $35 is available. The front and back, if I do a front and back cover piece, like this Batman Detective number 20, I still have for $75. That's what it costs, $75 for that. And those are example covers. What you do is you ask me and let you know what books I have available with blank covers, and if you're interested in something specific on that, then fine, we'll figure it out. But black and white's $25, and color is $40 for just the front. And then if I do something front and back cover, it's $40 black and white, $75 color. And then commissions for sketch cards are $5 pen and ink for black and white, $10 a card in color. And if you buy, I'll give you guys a discount if you do multiple cards, but I won't do any cheaper than $5 a card. And these are sample of the color cards. And you can see again the different styles and stuff I work in. And again, all this stuff was colored with Copics and Prismacolors and stuff like that. What do I like best, drawing, inking, or coloring? Probably inking over the right people. If I'm really comparative, comparable and compatible. That's what I'm looking for with the penciler. I think inking is probably my favorite. Share that if you like. Yeah, I'll do that in a second here. I think you're not an artist unless you can do different styles. I think the main thing, and I think most artists can do different styles. It's just that publishers don't let us. They want us to become one-trick pony so that they can control our careers, in my opinion. It's just how I look at it. But this is Loston's Cat Matui that he did with the Copic and Prismacolor markers, which makes me jealous. I am so jealous of this. I'm gonna have to have you on the show when and do something where we're both drawing the same sort of thing side by side. But this is just gorgeous piece. And that was a commission piece, or is that a print? We're waiting to hear back from Austin on that. I don't drink alcohol either. So you're saying you got an Eastwood smile and Robert Redford hair? Okay, let's go back to this. As you can see, I've gone back in and fixed it a little bit, cleaned it up. Let's see if I can get this thing to ink the way I want it to. It's gonna be a bear, because that whiteout didn't quite take the way I hoped it would, but it'll work, but just gonna have to be careful with it. It's just not quite getting what I want, but just keep fighting it and you'll get there. Yeah, it makes his face look a little bit too fat, but I don't really think I can improve upon it in this particular way, because the way the whiteout is. But, okay. Okay, what happened here? Okay. All righty. Quick. Yeah, face didn't come out quite the way I wanted it, but a lot of things didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. I'm going to come back and redo this again another time. Now that I've actually inked him once, I get a better idea of what I want to do and how I want to do it. And as you can see, I signed it. Practice ink's not for sale. Oh, my Star Wars shirt? Yeah, okay. Cool. Overall, though, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's not. For the first time I've ever tried inking him, and you know, I just kind of lost my way a little bit here and there, and you know, next time I'm going to come back to this and revisit it, probably early next year. I'm going to actually even write that on here. So we can see what my improvement level is when I come back to it. We'll have it for comparison. If you want comparison side by side with his pencils, like I said, I screwed up the face mostly. But that face is so tightly wound up in shadow, I'm not sure how I'm going to get that the way I want it, but I will figure it out. Yeah, the first time's always a trial run. Yep. But hey, I had fun, for it. And seeing as I inked it really relatively quickly. I mean, you figure I started at 9, and we've talked. I haven't done constant inking. I've shown other artwork. I've done other things. I basically worked on this maybe an hour and a half, and that's working really fast. if I actually sat down and really focused tightly on this, I could probably do a really nice job on it and stuff. I just gotta, for something fun like this, it is what it is. But if I revisit this, I will probably do it where I'm. I don't know if I'm going to do it live. I think what I'll do is I'll record it and then just focus on it and talk while I'm working on it. That way, I won't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, this was cool. I'll have to come back and visit this one. Let's see if I got something else to quickly do here to get this around to our full 3 hours here. These are some of those prints that you saw. I also have an 11 by 17, but I can't have them for sale right now. Mostly because I don't know how the heck to get them mailed. If I could figure out how to get them mailed, I would mail them and make them available as well. But like this is that Chinese dragon, nice and large. Here's that T-Rex and other dino. But the main reason I wanted to pull this out was to show the some of the original art for 11 by 14s. And this would be 11 by 14 example would be we're talking about the 11 by 14 full figure, maximum 2 characters in the background, 100 in black and white, 125 in color. This is the kind of work I'm talking about for that 125. Is that available? And this was drawn with the what was it? The little statuette as a reference of the character. And then this is a Monica Rambeau, Photon, or Captain Marvel, whichever you prefer to call her. That's available. And this is the ROM I was talking about. And there's a Silver Surfer and Galactus. And the Doomsday. That one I'll probably sell for a little bit less than what I've got listed as, but and this is an original Darth Maul. You can see the gradation in the lettering from in the blues, from light to dark. I wasn't sure if that showed up or not. And then this is the original art for the Ray. That's actually $200 for that piece for the original. And this is pen and ink and markers and colored pencils for a lot of the shading, as you can probably tell. And then this is the black and white piece for that Darth Vader pinup. Black and white for the Stormtrooper. And then the baby. A Jetfire. And a Cyclonus. A Shockwave. And the glare is a little bit too heavy on that. If I get a little bit closer, you can see some better of the shading and gradation on there. And then a Gundam RX-71. And I think that's all I've got in this particular piece. But yeah. Let's see, at 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it, because I don't think I can do a full card. Usually a card takes me 20 to 25 minutes for a sketch card, and that would just really crunch us in. So if you're interested in any of that stuff I just showed, or if you're interested in commissioning anything, you reach me at the address on the screen you see below. Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com. We will be back tomorrow around 6 p.m., 7 p.m. maybe, for another live draw session. And I will probably do, I'm going to see if I can find something else. Maybe I'll look for that Solomon Grundy piece, if I've got it, the file or not. But yeah, it's cool. Yep. Thanks for stopping by, Lost, and great to see you as always. Have a good night. And it is midnight, so we will see you guys tomorrow evening. If you want to reach me, you can reach me on Facebook at lewis.brightraven, deviantart.com/brightraven, on YouTube at Quoth the Raven Lewis Brightraven, on Gmail at quothravenlbr72@gmail.com, and if you can't reach me at the Gmail address, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. The regular weekly podcast airs on Thursdays, 9 p.m. And we will see you guys tomorrow at, like I said, probably around, maybe not 6 or 7, maybe 6 or 7. I'll do my best to do it around 6:30, 7 o'clock. But I'll let you guys know officially by around 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Okay? So until then, I will see you later.